virtual audience. I'm Alisha Chandrakar, your host for today's evening, and I have a very talented artistic person today with us. So, his name is Meet Shah. He's the founder of Craftezy. You might be thinking what Craftezy is. So, Craftezy is something which is saving our India's heritage, which is saving our India's culture, India's art, and promoting Indian artists in international markets. So we have a talented artistic person who is helping and promoting India's culture in the international market. So Meet, welcome to Techiexpert, and firstly, thank you so much for your precious time.
No, I really want to thank you for the kind words you spoke for me. I really feel privileged to be in this. I really feel nice to be discussing about Craftezy and also talking a bit about it. So I would thank you for your time as well. Thank you so much for your time and again the input that you gave.
You're welcome. So, Meet, I want you first to give an introduction to our audience, so our audience know what Craftezy is all about.
Sure. So basically, to put it in a simpler term, Craftezy is a B2B marketplace for handicraft products, wherein the entire ambition behind the project is to sort of connect our Indian manufacturers and wholesalers with international buyers. And it's a very narrow term to say just connecting, because there's a lot of things that goes into it, right? When you're talking about cross-border trade, there's cataloging, there's logistics, there's negotiations, there's data analytics, there's so much more. So if you actually truly care about the industry, you just can't connect the buyers and sellers. You have to go to the root of it. So that's why what we do with Craftezy is we manage all the processes for both buyers and sellers, right from, as I said, we handbake, we provide dedicated cataloging support to our suppliers to make their catalogs more marketable. We provide them with logistics assistance by tying up with logistics aggregators. We provide them with detailed data analytics as to what kind of pricing and offerings are working in those markets. We help them with negotiation with the buyers, because we understand that not everyone has those negotiation skills when it comes to negotiating with people from multiple countries. So we provide that support too. On the buyer's end, we take care of their sourcing part, as to they don't have to sort of find the right supplier or do the quality checks or find the right prices for the products. We offer to do that on their behalf too, so that we save up a lot of time for them while maintaining the quality of the product, as well as ensuring there's fair trade, and also they get competitive pricing. So all in all, you can call Craftezy a fully managed B2B marketplace for handicraft products, wherein we are connecting Indian sellers with international buyers.
Okay, this is really amazing. Like, I haven't heard any kind of startup or any kind of company which is actually promoting art in international markets, especially. So, Meet, now I would like to know, what was the story behind this? Like, what made you do this? What came into your mind and you thought, I should do something for our artists in our country?
See, there's a lot of there's no one story. It's a combination of a lot of stories, but the major one was one of the stories. So I did my master's from London, and during our master's we had this project where we had to set up a small stall in this market called Spitalfields Market, where we sort of had to source the products from somewhere and had to sell something physically for 2 days in that market. I remember we started discussing on what kind of products we could sell, and our team, we were a team of 6 people. Then we started different we started brainstorming on different products we could sell, and there were interesting products, but handicrafts were one of them, and it really stuck with me. At the time we couldn't go ahead with it because of some issues, but still it just stayed with me, and I just started talking with a lot of people over there just to understand what kind of demand the products have. And I was shocked. What happens sometimes is that basically some people just, for their side hustle, they source products from India for example, they source it for 1,000 rupees and they are selling it over there for 20,000 rupees. So that sort of margins was also, because it's at the end of the day, it's about the aesthetic or the art or the art about these products. So there's no real value attached to it. It's all about emotional value or the kind of value you perceive it to be. So that was one story. The other one was when I got curious about this industry, I started researching on the global market of such products, and the global market was huge. And if I were to give you a number, it was somewhere around $600 billion. And in such a vast market, we expect that for a country like India, which is naturally associated with its handicraft products, it should have a fair amount of share. But it was shocking to know that it was less than 1%. So it kind of befouled be like, it was kind of shocking to know that for a country like India we have such a low share. So then I had to start researching more about it. I started talking with a lot of people and understood how they trade and what kind of problems they are facing. So then after having a fair share of research data on that, we formed like value propositions for Craftezy as to what kind of offerings we need to provide in order to improve this industry in whole. And that is when it struck me that yes, this is what I want to do, and then Craftezy was born.
Wow, this is like kind of inspiring story, because our culture is not getting abroad market, like as you said. And I like the way your story is quite very interesting. In fact, I think many people will get inspired to this and will start getting back to artistic things. Like I have seen many people quitting art. They don't want to do it anymore because they are not getting money from it. So my next question, yeah. So my next question to you is like, how online platforms are bridging the gap between artisans and buyers to boost the economy. So what's your take in that?
So the thing is that handicraft as an industry is the second highest employer in India after agriculture. We have close to 7 million artisans in India who are registered, but there's a huge number which might not even be registered. So as an industry, it is the second highest employer. Now, naturally, it becomes a huge part of the economy where so many people are associated with one particular industry. So the problem in the recent years is that, these people over rely a lot on physical trade, that they want to sort of be in the local market. They want to talk and sort of interact with the buyers or sellers just to get the gist of what the entire industry is like. So they over rely a lot on the physical channels. Now what COVID has only pushed, but it was there before as well. People realize that during a time like pandemic, they understood what digital channels are all about, how it can bridge gaps from, but like a person sitting somewhere in Rajasthan at their own manufacturing unit or office, they can connect with a buyer somewhere totally remote. It's not only the mainstream countries like the US or the Europe, but it can be anywhere. So that is the power of channels. But again, coming back to the roots of it, if it was a direct to consumer company, it's okay to just sort of get connected with the buyer, and because it's only a single product. But when we're talking about bulk transactions, it takes a lot more. As I said, there's the sales cycle are a bit longer. There's a bit more complexity in pricing, logistics challenges, payment related issues. There are a lot of things. So that's why a lot of things have improved digitally over the past years. And to put it in the right way, the adoption has only been fastened because of COVID. It was going to come. It is inevitable, but it has only quickened because of COVID. And that's when people realize the true power of it and the true impact of it. And to give you a sort of statistic on that, let's take an example of an A company and a B company. A company is only in the local market, and B company is also exporting it through digital channels and physical channels as well. So in comparison, on average, the sales of the B company who's exporting is always going to be 5x higher than the A company, just because they're exporting and using digital channels. So that is how powerful these channels are, and people have to realize that. Now, we understand that not everyone is capable enough due to their own challenges. Like, there are some issues that people have, and it's going to take time to sort of get to the bottom of it. So that is where platforms like Craftezy come in, where we provide you assistance with all these things ready-handed. Like, you don't have to do anything. You just have to list with us. We'll do the verification check. We'll do the cataloging. We'll take care of logistics, payments, and everything. And that's how a digital solution for a rather traditional industry.
Okay, that's amazing. So you started Craftezy in 2020, which was a pandemic time. So, it is a very risky time to start any kind of business. So how did you decide to take this risk? And like, you have invested, obviously. So what made you do this in the pandemic?
So, I have read a lot of story. No, I won't say this. I won't say it as a story. But I've read a lot of histories about the companies who started after crisis, right? So I'll take an example from 2008 crisis when the stock market had crashed and companies like Uber and Airbnb had come in. Now these were like totally different concepts altogether, but the common thing with all these crises, like considering pandemic as a crisis, is that companies that truly emerge and provide solutions to help people during that crisis are going to be the ones who emerge the most. Now see, starting your own company or starting your own startup is always going to be a risk, like be it a pandemic or be it not a pandemic. But like if you truly provide something that adds value to the users of people, like the people who are using your platform or your product, and if you're truly actually like making difference in their business, is something that can emerge the most after a crisis, because that's when they realize, yes, we will require something or some assistance that will help us boost our business.
Right. So yeah, I got it. So you took a very huge risk, but it is going good, right?
So yeah, like the response has been really good on the supplier side, and we are also like we have also started talking with the demand, and then we have gotten a pretty good response for that as well. But that's the thing, like we have to take it in a systematic way, and we can't be all over the place. We have to sort of like take it in a way that it makes sense to everyone, and that is why we took it phase wise for all the phases, and not about like sort of getting into that constant loop of iterating and then coming out, iterating and then coming out. We wanted to take a bit of our time to understand and explore the market. That we did. Now we are into the market, and then we are going fast paced.
Okay, that's amazing. That's really fascinating, actually. So, I want to know why digitization and technology are adding much needed agility to B2B retail.
Right. So the thing is that I'll take the example of I'll take the instance of pandemic, when people understood that the physical channels or the kind of retail channel, traditional retail channel, had closed down for a long time. People were in their houses, they were in a lockdown, and there were no shops open. But still, people wanted to buy products, or people wanted to sell products. So that's when you realize the importance of digital channels in such a time where there's nothing. Because at the end of the day, okay, this is a sort of a story, like an example I used to explain to the early suppliers for Craftezy, is that when you sort of like are running a physical store or a physical manufacturing unit, and when you count the number of days that you are actually running the unit, if you count if the shop is open for like 8 hours a day, and you're counting all the Sundays and the holidays, out of 365 days, the actual working hours of the stores are only close to 110 days. So you're actually missing out on close to 250 days of possible sales, right? So but with the digital approach, you are open 24/7, and it's not necessary for a person to be physically over there, but you can be anywhere in the world, and a person can buy your product. So that is the power of like adopting that digital channel for a rather traditional industry like handicrafts, wherein it gives a better platform to showcase their products on a much more larger level.
Okay, that's amazing. So I want to know, what has surprised you so far in this artistic industry? What is that one thing or anything that have surprised you actually?
Surprise, I won't say it was a surprise. I was kind of ready for it, because traditionally India is a very trust averse country. Like it's very difficult for getting people to trust you, even if it's for like sort of when you are saying that sir आप ये platform use करिए, बिल्कुल free है, आपको कुछ pay नहीं करना है, आपको सिर्फ pay करना है commission भरने के बाद. But still, that level of like education that goes into what Craftezy is all about, how it helps you, what are the benefits, what are our plans. Like a traditional company won't do that. We actually told our suppliers that what are our plans, that what we are going to do, how we are going to get the demand, how we are going to sort out the logistics, how we are going to sort out the catalog. We were explaining that everything. Then it got sort of like drafted into a marketing message through digital channels, social media and everything. Then it got open, and then it reduced the time. We created a few explainer videos, and we did that and that. But again, this education for both sellers and us was very necessary. Only after talking with them we realized that these are the things that they actually care about. So that is where we just sort of like, it kind of surprised me, the kind of education that we had to give the supplier even after telling them that it is totally free to use and everything, like what are the benefits. So sometimes it surprises you that, like, some suppliers are, the way they talk, it actually feels like they are not really interested at all, but they just still want to like just grill us with asking questions.
Okay, fine. So, what according to you are 5 best online B2B marketplaces for handmade goods or crafts?
I won't be specific to any, like I won't be specific to P2P or P2C as such, but I really like the concept. Like I feel that in terms of handicrafts or handmade items, like the global platform first, definitely it's Etsy. It's one of the largest marketplaces out there, and it's a global phenomenon. So I truly like, I am truly inspired by the platform, the way it started. So Etsy will be the first. Then if I were to name some Indian platforms, and I really like, studied a lot about how Craftsvilla operated, how Qtrove operated, the Indian Handicraft House, even Kalara for that matter. They have been doing really good, and it's all about a collective effort to boost this industry, be it on a direct to consumer level or be it on a B2B level. It's always going to be a collective effort. So rather than seeing it as a competitor or like, a person who is doing something similar, we see it as a collective effort that चलो एक कंपनी, दो कंपनी या तीन कंपनी या पांच कंपनियां काम कर रही है just to boost a particular sector.
Okay, that's amazing. Like, it's quite interesting to know that you don't find them as a competitor. In fact, you find it as a collective initiative to do something for our country, actually, basically.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah. So I want to know, what do you think about third wave? As we all know, third wave is going to come. We can't stop it. So how it will impact this art industry, and what are the possibilities, and what are your plans for it?
See, like, you can call as you said, like, the third wave is sort of inevitable, and it most definitely would come. But we have learned a lot of things from the first and the second wave, right? It's not about like we are going to an entirely different scenario. Like we have adopted this channel, we have adopted, like we have understood how it works when a particular wave hits and everything. And we at Craftezy have all, like, it's really funny that since the beginning all of us are working remotely. There are only a few people who are coming to the office and working, and we have people working from Bangalore, Delhi, Bombay, Kolkata, everywhere. So we have gotten used to it, sort of like, working from homes or working from like a particular remote location. But if you talk about the industry, the world has adopted as well, and people are still sort of, they have understood how to deal when a particular scenario rises again. Then it sort of like, gives you a bit more confidence in the earlier waves. So I'm sure, like, it's not really gonna affect so much. Obviously the health and the life are like definitely gonna take a huge impact again. But for the industry as a market, I don't think so there should be a much of a difference.
Right.
And anything else, like, we'll just keep on working.
Okay, that's great. Like, you're quite inspiring, because you're always like, I'll do it. So
Yeah.
it's right. Okay, so now at the end, now we have to end this interview, unfortunately. But I was loving to talk to you because I have learned so much in this interview. You can't even imagine. I didn't knew many things about this industry, which you have made me learn, and to our audience as well. So at the end, I want you to give message to our younger generation, people who are from the art industry, and to our audience.
See, younger generation ko to I can't give a lot of things because I'm young myself. So it's all about, like, when I talk about this industry as a whole, like, a lot of people have tried to deteriorate from this industry because, as you said, like, simply they feel there's no more scope into this industry. But it's not about having a scope or having a market of these products. The global market is speaking for itself. People are like, a lot of countries are making huge strides in this industry. Why are we lacking behind? You need to identify the problem. The market is never a problem. It's always about what you as a person or a company or anything, like, are doing wrong. So it's all about finding the right channels, doing the right things, improving on smaller things, and yeah, it takes you a couple of other minor steps that you have to take, and that is how you're gonna find that global exposure that you're looking for, or the market opportunity that you're looking for. So particular people from this industry, they just have to sort of understand how digital adoption is only going to help them and not going to sort of not help them. So that is what we are trying to do constantly with Craftezy. So it's all about that, like Craftezy will help you all the way, but we are just asking you to take that one step, just one step with joining us. That's it.
So thank you so much, Meet, for your precious time. It was really amazing talking to you. Our audience, myself, we have learned a lot from this interview. And in the end, I just want you to say a few words for our Techiexpert, and then we'll just go back actually.
No, first and foremost, I would really want to thank you for all the kind words that you have said about me and Crafties and everything we have talked about. It really means a lot to us. And about Techiexpert, really, I found that this approach of understanding uh, the vision or the mission or the idea of a founder or of any person is much more well versed way, because this gives you a much in-depth learning, because you can see each other, you can talk about it, and then you can also cross question rather than just reading an article about it. It's a much better approach. So this is something that I really feel that should be in this space. And again, it was really good interacting with you, and I hope we can have a further conversation sometime going ahead.
Exactly. Yeah, sure, for sure. So yeah, now we should just sign off. So
Yes.
thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And audience,
Thank you so much
bye.
for your
Thank
time.
you for watching. Please do like, share, subscribe, and comment. And if you have any question for Meet, comment. We will try to reply you, and we will try to answer you. Even if Meet will be available, he will try to answer you in the comment section about his Craftezy. So thank you so much, audience. Thank you so much, Meet. Bye.
Bye bye. Take care.